Shanna Rock with the University of Arizona. I'm here to share with you some things to consider when sampling irrigation water for microbial contamination. Water can be a carrier of disease-causing pathogens that can sometimes make people sick and cause death. A critical component to food safety programs is the accurate assessment of irrigation water quality for microbial contamination. Today, we'll be going over good agricultural practices for the accurate assessment of irrigation water for microbial contamination. Before going out to the water source, it's important to have the following items: a sampling pole, gloves, alcohol wipes or gel, a permanent marker, sample collection bottles that are sterile like these two we have here, a cooler, and last, ice packs. Here are some key areas to stress and steps to follow when sampling irrigation water. Thorough record keeping is essential, especially when a grower is being inspected by a third-party auditor. Keep a current database of the sample ID, sample date, water source, ranch name, source ID, time, and in some cases, the GPS coordinates of the sample location, point of entry, and the required analysis. Record the sample ID on the sample bag or bottle with a permanent marker. Ensure that fingers or jewelry do not come into contact with the inside of the bag or bottle. When sampling from open water sources such as canals, rivers, streams, or ditches that require dipping the container into the water source, use a sample pole, such as a golf ball retriever, and collect the sample from the center of the source at the depth of 6 inches. As the water samples need to best represent the source of water supply, it is not good practice to sample water close to a ditch bank or at a depth either above or below the point of drain-off. It's important to never sample at the bottom of the water source, where sediment or turbidity could affect the result of the water sample. When sampling a closed water source, such as that from a well or from a direct municipal source, sample the tap that is supplying the water from the service pipe directly connected with the main, and not from the cister or storage tank. Open up the tap fully and let the water run for waste for at least 30 seconds, or for long enough time to permit flushing of the entire service line, whichever takes longer. Be careful not to open sample bags or bottles until right before samples are collected. Additionally, it's important not to touch the insides of the cap or the bottle while collecting water samples. Take a bottle by its base and plunge it into the water source with the neck facing down, and then turn the bottle until the neck is pointing slightly upward and the mouth is directly towards current. Allow the bottle to fill. After filling, remove the bottle from the water with the neck pointing up. There should be no air gap, and tightly cap the bottle. After the sample is collected, place it in the cooler in an upright position with gel packs or ice to ensure that the sample remains cool during transport to the laboratory. Please use a new pair of latex gloves after each sample collection. It's also important to remember to get samples back to the lab in a timely manner. Water samples must be analyzed within 6 hours after sample collection. It is recommended that the water source of each individual ranch be sampled prior to germination, and depending on the guidelines recommended by your company, additional sampling during the growth of the crop are likely to be required. By following these careful recommendations, the potential risk of microbial contamination can be minimized. Thank you for watching. Let's work together to minimize foodborne hazards in fresh produce and provide a source that is safe and nutritious for everyone.